The waters, were they upon the earth? When we read Genesis 1, it says that the earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. Come here. Come here, baby. I was like trying to ignore her, and she was like, I'm gonna flap my ears. Oh, you gotta love your animals, man. You gotta love the animals. They are precious creatures. She was like, "Oh, we're doing a video." Do y'all remember when I first got the baby and she was like shy to be on camera? Now she's like, "Oh, we doing a video? Let me make myself known. Hello, doggy world." All right, okay. Where was I? Oh my goodness. All right, cuddle up, baby. Let mommy do the video, okay? All right, so where was I? And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Okay? So it sounds to me that the waters were separate from the earth. I have been getting lessons on the firmament for a while now. And it comes to me in waves. So I thought I would document the wave today. All right. So the waters, that has an S on the end. So that lets me know that it is multiple. Okay? So God says, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters. That in the midst is a key to understanding that the waters had form. Because when you see in the midst in the Bible, it means in the middle of. Okay? And he just showed me something. He just showed me his word. Eden, the Garden of Eden, was in the midst of Eden. And let me look that up real fast to make sure that I'm not just seeing things. Okay, no. I'm sorry. So in the midst is where the tree of life and the tree of knowledge was located. So it was in the middle of the garden. All right, forgive me. That's why I always want to look stuff up and make sure, I'm on the right page. All right, so it's in the middle of, okay? And let it divide the waters from the waters. So what I am seeing is there are multiple waters above and multiple waters below the firmament. And God called the firmament heaven. But if you go back, it says in the beginning, the heaven and the earth. Okay, so the name heaven is being applied to multiple locations. Okay, so God said, let the waters, and that has an S, under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let dry land appear. So he called the dry land earth. Okay? But again, heaven and earth. Okay? Having multiple names for things, or using the same name for multiple things. And the gathering together of the waters under the firmament he called seas. Okay? We assume the only waters used in creation were that of the seas, but it doesn't say that that was the only water that was used to create. It only says, let the waters bring forth life. Okay? So then, of course, Jesus could walk on water because his throne sits above it and he created water. Okay? Then my mind was led to fountains of the deep. And I was asking God, what are the fountains of the deep? Were these deep wells within the earth, or what was it, you know? And I was led to a book by the name The Waters Above the Firmament and the Earth's Annular System. All right, so the author of that book, his name is Isaac Val, or Vel, I don't know. Isaac Vail. Go have fun with that. So in the book, the author suggests that Earth had a ring or rings around it. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I saw a picture of what that would look like, and when I saw the picture, I said, Earth wasn't circumcised. And I said, Earth got circumcised. And so did Abraham. All right, so if you can find a picture of the earth with the rings around it, maybe you'll laugh at that too. Maybe not. Maybe it's just me. Okay? All right, so it either had a ring or multiple rings around it. Okay? And the rings contained water. And he's saying that the water would move around the earth within the rings. Okay? And he points out that the pre-flood world, and I've said this before, that no one knew what rain was. Rain did not exist in the pre-flood world. Okay, neither did rainbows exist in the pre-flood world. That came after. And Isaac explains his theory, and his theory makes a lot of sense to me. So I'm just going to go in depth a little bit about what his book covers, okay? So Isaac, suggests that the fountains of the deep were the rings around the earth. And that is what got broken up and poured down on the earth through the windows of heaven. And he says that that is why the rainbow goes around the earth. Okay? And we know that the rainbow is a sign that never again will the fountains of the deep be broken up and poured out upon the earth. Okay, never again will there be a flood upon the earth. And I said, wow, this guy is a genius. Because, wow. Like, this book was written in 1912. Okay? And here I am in 2024 reading it. And I wish that this man was alive, because I would love to listen to him or have a conversation with him. Ask him, how did you come to this knowledge? But I know how he came to it, the same way I did. Okay? But he has a little bit more in depth, because I didn't put together, there were rings around the earth. Yes, I didn't put it together. I get tongue-tied. I was just like, you know what? I'm not even going to try to say it. It does not. All right, so Isaac says the same that I was led to believe about there was light before the sun or the moon was placed, okay? And he says that proves light before the visible sun, okay, necessitates a fund of intercepting matter above the terrestrial firmament, and this requires an annular or belted canopy. And he suggests that the day of rest meant a rainless age, okay, because there was no rain pre-flood on the earth. And then I said, this man, he wrote this book in the 1900s, and I can hear his voice through reading his words. And through reading his words and how he is laying them out on the page, I could tell that his ideas were from God, but that he knew that by him writing these down and expressing it amongst his peers, that he probably would be looked at as crazy. He probably was mocked. He probably was made fun of. He probably was told that his theory didn't matter. However, here is a woman in 2024 reading his book, and because I have understanding of the Holy Spirit, I can see, where he's coming from. And it's just very interesting to me how people like us, myself and Isaac, we will have divine insight and we will share it with others, but our peers who do not have the same divine insight or hold the capacity of the Holy Spirit, they most of the time will mock and try to silence. So then we have to learn how to speak so that the theory, I'm doing air quotes, can get out so that it can help future generations. And it's interesting because this week I came across others that have that type of block, you know, because even though I know that God created everything and I serve God and I know, okay, because I have an intimate relationship with God. I have heard and seen things, all right? So I know I'm not speaking from a place of inexperience. It always makes me laugh how others who are trying to explain things from a satanic perspective, they will shut down the Bible, the use of the Bible. They will push away anyone who they think loves Jesus or believes in Jesus. And they will always put down the Bible in order to uplift what they are speaking about. And they are closed-minded to hearing these things. As soon as they hear Jesus, the Bible, or anything that has to do with it, they shut down. And I'm actually thankful for that system because I know that it is a system of protection. All right, it is done divinely, but I don't know how one can call themselves a student or how one can say that they're open to learning, but as soon as something comes from a direction that they are in opposition to, they shut it down. I don't do that. I have gone everywhere to reclaim my birthright, to reclaim the understanding, because it was hidden in many places. And if I would have stood on the outside and said, well, they don't acknowledge God and they don't do this and I'm not talking to them and I'm not listening to nothing they have to say. Like I would not have gleaned the wisdom that I have now. And it's always interesting to me how people will say that it's not real, but then they'll use it to make their stuff seem more real. Or they can't stop talking about it. Or, they pose the question to, why aren't believers doing this and why aren't believers doing that? And the only answer that I have is because they know it's real. They know the power. They are in a stronghold. They are in a mental stronghold because they have determined, for whatever reason, that it cannot be this way. And God has already told you there is only one way. There is only one door. There is only one truth. Okay? And everybody that is not a son of God or a daughter of God, they keep trying to usurp the route. I have said before, and I will say it again, if a lot of people are walking that path, you're on the wrong path. Because even God tells you it's the path of small. Very few find it. Hell's mouth is getting bigger and bigger and bigger by the day. But heaven has boundaries. All right. So, and I just, I noticed in the way he was writing, he was letting the reader know that he had been mocked for these ideas. But his ideas make perfect sense to me in 2024. Just like I know this channel and my books and my writings and the things that I am leaving, okay, they will make sense to those in the future. And I have said that so many times. I don't know if I'm speaking to this generation. I may be speaking to a generation to come. And that's okay with me. So, yes. So God recently revealed to me that there is a lie, a great lie. And the lie is that the earth is running out of resources, that we are overpopulated. It's not true. The earth will never run out of resources until God says, that's it. And then that's the day of judgment, okay? And he revealed to me that there is unlimited water. Water is constantly being created and renewed. Okay? And he said that will be revealed through his people. It's going to be revealed to his people and through his people. Okay? But the earth can never be overpopulated, nor can it run out of resources. It can definitely go through cycles. Okay? I'm not saying that there aren't famines. I'm not saying that. That's a cycle. Okay? But it will never run out, because the way it was created, and man has to depend on God to provide the daily bread. All right? So if man stops populating the earth, we are in denial of the commandment that God gave us in Genesis, which is to be fruitful and multiply, Not once has God said, stop being fruitful and multiplying. But the devil has said that many times and has tried to stop the birth of God's people. But it never works. All right? So there were brick tablets found in the libraries of Nineveh, 14 of them. And on them is held an account of the flood. So we know who built Nineveh, Azurmaya, or Asher, right? Ashur. And who took it over? Nimrod. And who reclaimed it? Through Jonah, God. Okay. Talks about, so the bricks, tablets, they talk about rivers and floods being in the heavens, and how there are celestial ships and celestial monsters, and there are celestial guardians that guard the fountains and the rivers in the celestial realm. Okay? And this is talked about not just in the libraries of Nineveh, but throughout the ancient world. Okay? And then he brought me to the temple, and in the temple, you'll remember there was an instrument of God, and it was called the brazen sea or the molten sea. And I didn't get more answers on that, but I think he just wants me to be aware. Okay. Also, seasons, summer, winter, fall, spring, they didn't exist until after the flood, because the way that the earth was at that time, the water canopy, and also Isaac says that the sun was not visible until after the flood. I don't know if I, fully believe that, but it is very interesting. It's an interesting point. So the rainbow also didn't exist until after the flood. And then I thought something very interesting, and it was the 7 colors of the rainbow point to the 7 heavens. And that's all that I have right now. But I would suggest reading Isaac Vell's book. I read the whole thing right before I did this video. It was a very easy read for me, and I enjoyed it.